1. Looks good, yeah. 1.
We're here at the south end of the Michigan Avenue Bridge at a monument tied closely to Chicago's history. The monument commemorates something that happened 155 years ago today, August 15th. 155 years ago today, August 15th, 1812, when the incident occurred at Fort Dearborn that has been variously called the Fort Dearborn Massacre, the Battle of Fort Dearborn, and as there has been an evaluation of what happened there, has come to be called the Fort Dearborn Incident. At that time, the garrison of Fort Dearborn, with some civilians and their families, was ordered to evacuate, and they had got shortly away from the fort near here when they were attacked by a band of Indians. When the fighting was over, more than 50 of the garrison and their people were dead, and about 25 of the Indians. Today we have with us Colonel Harry A. Musham, chairman of the Fort Dearborn Commission, come to place a wreath at the monument as he has done annually for many years. Colonel Musham, I wonder if you could tell us something about this event.
Well, this happened at the beginning of the War of 1812, and the question that was a matter that was ordered from Detroit by General William Hull in command of the American troops in the old Northwest Territory. He issued the orders for Fort Dearborn, the garrison, to evacuate the fort.
So there was no question that they had to do as they were told.
Yes, the captain obeyed his orders, and he made preparations to go, and he started out about 10 o'clock on the morning of August 15th, 1812, and formed his company, one of the oldest companies in the Army, and marched right straight down the trail to about 12th or 14th Street. Now the Indians knew about what was to happen. They'd gotten advance information from the Canadians and British authorities over in Canada across from Detroit. And they about 500 or 600 of them gathered here from all over Wisconsin and Michigan and so forth.
Well, thank you, Colonel. Thank you, Colonel Musham. I wonder if we could now place the wreath.
Yes. Ready? When the troops left the fort, they marched down along the lake shore. And a short distance from the lake shore, about where the west sidewalk of Michigan Avenue is now, the Indians were spotted, all lined up. And one man was sent forward to investigate, to reconnoiter, to see what was going on. And the Indians took a shot at him. The Indians didn't like him very well, but they missed him. And as the troops went halted at the time, Captain Heald in command formed his company to attack the Indians on the low sand ridge along the lake shore. And he did all right. He broke through them and finally took another position on another ridge a short distance inland. And there, of course, they all realized the hopelessness of the situation. So many Indians and so few troops. And they agreed to a treaty with the Indians. And the Indians were to let them go. And with various promises that they used to make to the Indians. But anyway, they moved back to the fort.
Well, thank you, Colonel Musham. Now, suppose we place the wreath on the monument. Up on the ledge.
I'll have to crawl up.
No, just place it on the ledge. Yes. So it can be seen. That's right. Now, if we'll.
I'll wait.
Thank you, Colonel Musham, for helping to mark this important historic occasion. I'm Ed Eulenberg of the Daily News.
That's all those.
This is Robert Boyle, Deputy Chief of the Criminal Division of the State's Attorney's Office, who has the task of presenting evidence to a 23-man grand jury which is investigating the bail bond scandal involving several judges, lawyers, and other persons who might possibly be making money when the, blew that one. And other persons who might have been active in setting bail bond, pardon me, I blew it again. And other persons who might have been active in setting bail bonds. Mr. Boyle, can you tell me how long this investigation is going to be?
Well, Mr. Lavin, as you know, Mr. Stamos, the state's attorney, assigned his office to investigate this system starting back in May of this year, and we have, for the past several months, had men on the street and have been gathering information, and as you know, we plan tomorrow to go before the Cook County Grand Jury with this information.
As a result of the investigation that will be presented to the grand jury, how many indictments do you expect to be returned?
Well, we can't forecast how many indictments would or would not be returned. There is no way that we could forecast that.
Lawyers are expected to be indicted, though, aren't they?
We have no comment on that, Mr. Lavin.
How about other persons?
We will present the evidence that we have been able to garner as a result of our investigation, and the grand jury will take whatever action it sees fit.
How about Judge Keyes? Will he be called before the grand jury?
Due to the fact that the Supreme Court Commission has been impaneled to hear the case of Judge Keyes, we have no comment that we could make relative to his case.
What thing is in the... Will Judge Keyes be called before the the Cook County Grand Jury?
I have no comment on that.
Or how can you tell us how this all came about?
Well, it would appear that certain individuals were very active. Parties who had an occasion to be in police stations, who talked to defendants, and it appears that they were very active in the setting of bonds. Other than that, we have no comment to make.
Well, just what did they do, or how did they go about it? Getting these defendants released and the money's passed, what entailed this entire...
Since the evidence will be presented to the grand jury, I think that ethically it would be very improper for us to comment on that.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Boyle.
Do you want to ask us about the investigation, how long it took him?
Yeah, wait, I'm going to ask him one more question.
And how long the grand jury will go to.
Yeah.
I'll give you something.
How long have you been pursuing this investigation?
Well, from May 12th, when Mr. Stamos first assigned our office to the investigation, we have had the bulk of our staff of 150 assistant state's attorneys, plus the 100...
So both young and old, distinguished guests and visitors, the Chicago Symphony Orchestra is also one of Chicago's monuments. This occasion is given added meaning because the orchestra has honored it by making their first civic appearance in this plaza of the Civic Center. We are grateful that they are here, and particularly under the baton of Seiji Ozawa, who I trust is here because he was to arrive by airplane this morning. Its distinguished conductor, who has thrilled all of us with his music at Ravinia this summer. Incidentally, gentlemen of the orchestra, it may interest you that Picasso is familiar with your artistry. It is the custom of Madame Picasso to play records of classical music for her enjoyment while the master is working, frequently far into the night, on his canvases. In addition to other artifacts of Chicago's culture which I have taken him, it has been my pleasure to present to her the Chicago Picasso for its dedication and unveiling.
For example, within walking distance of this plaza, there is the greatest possible variety of architectural expression, a contrast in design that is only possible in a great city. A few blocks away, there is the concrete cores of the twin Marina Towers, the structures of the great admiration to many. To others, the Civic Center building, providing the soaring background for the Picasso, is the most moving kind of architectural achievement, while still others prefer the Brunswick building.
Urging all of us to strive toward those things that are highest and noblest and best in our lives and in the lives of our fellow men. Guide and direct us as we rededicate ourselves to the ideals of freedom.
Sir, fine, thank you. Sir, what do you think of the Picasso statue?
Well, frankly, I haven't had a good look at it.
Oh, you weren't here for the unveiling?
No, I wasn't there, no.
It's right over there. You can't miss it.
I'll be over there later on. Thank you.
What do you think of the Picasso statue, sir?
I think everything today looks so rusty. Looks
Rusty?
like a Trojan horse without an end to it. Is it supposed to ever have any color or anything, or is that it?
It will turn about the same color that the Civic Center is. It'll get darker brown.
We're in a lot of trouble.
Thank you, sir. They rang the bells, they folded up that big blue nightgown for Picasso's lady, and people on their lunch hour have started to head back for work. The Chicago Picasso is everything they said it would be, and a good deal more. In peace. John Ward, 32 News. Picasso, and I have one man with me here who doesn't. Ma'am?
No.
I like to say I don't like it, but I like to say something.
What?
I like to say that I don't like it.
And,
Ground level.
very nice.
What's this thing gonna be, you know? Come on, Pat.
What do you think of the Picasso, sir?
I think it does something for the city of Chicago. I do. Because no matter what we have up in the Civic Center, I think that there will always be somebody who's going to be against it, just for the point of being against it. I think a lot of people out here are condemning something they don't even know about.
Is it about what you expected?
I think so, yes.
And what about you, sir?
Oh, I think it's not a masterpiece. It's not an everyday occurrence. People probably aren't used to it yet. They probably will be pretty soon. I know I'm not used to it.
Thank you very much. What do you think of the Picasso statues?
Tell me what you told me what you thought it was.
What do you think of the Picasso statue?
A dinosaur.
You think it's a dinosaur?